Good evening. This is Left, Right and Centre. I'm Nidhi Razdan. Tonight, Padmaavat finally releases today with police both inside and outside theatres in those states where it is being screened. But today's shocking statements from netas have us asking more about the Karni Sena's political patronage. The Rajasthan Home Minister says his government is on the same page as the Karni Sena. Union Minister VK Singh wants to talk to the protesters to understand their point of view, while the Congress's Digvijaya Singh says that history should not be distorted and the film shouldn't have been made if it hurts sentiments. Not the fringe? Let's take a look at what happened today.
At these Gurugram cinema halls for day one of Padmaavat. Despite massive, almost curfew-like security and palpable tension, many filmgoers here asked, who is the Karni Sena to decide for us?
सिक्योरिटी अरेंजमेंट्स बिल्कुल टाइट हैं और हमारे सीनियर ऑफिसर्स जो टॉप लेवल के हमारे ऑफिसर्स हैं, हमारे कमिश्नर साहब हैं, हर कोई राउंड पे है और सारी फोर्स को हम लोगों ने ब्रीफ किया हुआ है। फोर्स मोटिवेटेड है। एक मिनट के लिए भी हम किसी सिनेमा को या मॉल को खुला नहीं छोड़ेंगे। सेक्शन 144 इम्पोज्ड है पूरे एरिया में।
Got the Gurgaon police with their riot gear on, helmets on, sticks in hand, wearing the riot gear, and this is the position. At least 20 to 30 cops stationed outside every entry of every mall here in the Millennium City. We are outside the Sahara Mall at this point.
संजय लीला भंसाली ने पहले बनाने से पहले नहीं सोचा तो हम देखने से क्यों चुके और देखना है तो बस देखना है.
At PVR Saket, arguably Delhi's first modern multiplex, massive police presence similar to Gurugram. Moviegoers here extremely angry at the Karni Sena for trying to harass and intimidate them.
Related to history, if I actually want to know something, I'll open a book and read it. But I think it's high time people and politicians and whoever is in power realize there were so many movies about rapes, about other victims, about girls. But that time people were sleeping, people didn't matter what's happening.
Well, there's tight security behind me, but if you're planning to watch the film, get set to forego your popcorn and coffee since the police has given strict orders to theatre owners to not allow any food and beverages inside the theatre.
In Uttar Pradesh, another state that saw violence over Padmaavat's release, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath issued clear directions to the state police, asking for strict action against those breaking the law. This meant that theatres like Novelty, a Lucknow icon that first screened the movie in 1946, managed to go ahead with its planned shows. The footfall in show number 1, 100 out of 215 seats.
गांधी में भी काफी विरोध हुआ था जी, दलित पैंथर पार्टी का विरोध हुआ था और वो पिक्चर का परपेचुअल टैक्स फ्री भी थी, तो उसमें एक शो में तब इतनी चेकिंग और फ्रिस्किंग नहीं होती थी. अब चूंकि सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने का ऑर्डर भी है और हमें अपनी न्याय प्रक्रिया में पूरा विश्वास है.
Karni Sena members did make an appearance here but resorted to what they called Gandhigiri, trying to offer roses to moviegoers, asking them to cancel their plans. In Mumbai, cinema halls like Gaiety and others did screen Padmaavat, but with precautions.
You can see behind me a lot of crowd out here. Posters are not put up, but this is obviously a lot of them have booked their tickets online, and some of them, like they said, they have come from schools, colleges. So there's absolutely no sense of worry. And as we saw, Mumbai police inside the theatre, outside the theatre, great security arrangements so far here in Mumbai.
कुछ families wait and watch कर रहे हैं कि भाई कैसे जा रहा है, कोई लफड़ा तो नहीं है.
As per the producers of the film, Padmaavat managed to collect approximately rupees 5 crores till Thursday noon. 1,500 paid preview shows were held in a few metros on Wednesday night. Over the next few days, cinema goers and owners will keep their fingers crossed that no further violence is unleashed in the name of Padmaavat. With Sonal Mehrotra, Pooja Talwar and Rohit Khilnani, this is Alok Pandey, NDTV.
So that's what happened on the day that this film was finally released after all that. Meanwhile, what has really stood out is the commentary from across political lines as far as the Karni Sena is concerned. Today, Rajasthan's Home Minister Gulab Chand Kataria has actually admitted to being on the same page as the Karni Sena, which is why, as he put it, the Rajasthan government actually asked the Karni Sena to co-petition with them in the Supreme Court against the release of the film. And then you had Union Minister VK Singh, who basically talked about holding talks with the Karni Sena, which is essentially an army of goons and what some see as fringe elements, but said, hey, let's sit down and try and understand their point of view. And then there is the Congress's Digvijaya Singh, who's actually kept quiet for so many months now, and then suddenly emerged today to say that, well, if a film has hurt anyone's sentiments, then it shouldn't be made, which pretty much echoes the line that the Karni Sena is taking. Take a look at these comments.
हमने करनी सेना को भी कल बुला करके उनसे भी कहा था कि जिससे आप लोग प्रभावित हो उससे हम लोग भी हैं। अगर आप भी इसमें पार्टी बन करके इस रिव्यू पिटीशन में आएंगे तो हमारी रिव्यू पिटीशन बहुत ताकतवर बनेगी।
देखिए, एक जनरल बात मैं ये कहना चाहूँगा, जब भी हम कभी इतिहास की बात करते हैं तो उसका पूरी तरीके से उसको देख लेना चाहिए। अभिव्यक्ति की स्वतंत्रता इतिहास को तोड़फोड़ करने की इजाजत नहीं देती। तो इस चीज को जो लोग विरोध कर रहे हैं उनके साथ बैठ के सुलझाया जाए कि उनको क्यों विरोध है। जब तक ऐसा नहीं होगा, जब चीजें सहमति से नहीं होंगी तो उसमें गड़बड़ होती है।
किसी भी धर्म, किसी भी जाति विशेष और ऐतिहासिक अगर जो तथ्य हैं उनसे हटकर यदि किसी धर्म जाति के लोगों को उनकी भावनाओं को ठेस पहुंचती है तो ऐसी फिल्में नहीं बनाना चाहिए।
Well, perhaps the pictures that really defined these Karni Sena protests, quote unquote, were the pictures yesterday of the children in that school bus in Gurgaon that were crying, cowering in their school bus as Karni Sena goons were throwing stones at it. Today that school was closed. In fact, many other schools in Gurgaon just outside Delhi remained closed because kids, parents, even teachers were just too scared.
The monsters who attack children in the name of honor. 18 men are now in jail for putting innocent children at risk in their protest against the film Padmaavat, hurling stones at their bus and even hitting it with bamboo sticks as the children screamed in fear.
We in due course will be working out the upward and downward linkages, whether there was a conspiracy or not. That very condemnable incident, we have acted very swiftly.
The attack saw anguish and anger around the country. Despite the state government's assurances, lack of faith in the administration evident as several schools stayed shut. The horror of children being targeted simply refusing to go away.
All I want to say is that they really need to wake up now because this is high time now.
मैंने बहुत कुछ किया, बहुत काम देखे हैं, सब कुछ किया, लेकिन ऐसा मैंने माहौल कभी नहीं देखा। ये वोट की राजनीति है।
A movie is supposed to be a fun experience, but violence due to a movie left a traumatizing impact on the students on board this particular bus. Though the school was closed today to allow the staff members and students time to recuperate from the traumatizing events of yesterday, but it is sure to leave a scarring memory on them forever.
There were 30 children on the bus, mostly 3 to 4-year-old nursery students, when the bus was attacked roughly 7 kilometers from school. The driver, today hailed as a hero, kept his nerves and the bus moving, even as the first stone shattered a window and traumatized the little ones.
टीचरों ने बोला कि पोजीशन ले जाओ, छोटे बच्चे थे, सभी ने पोजीशन ले ली, अपनी सीटों के नीचे हो गए थे सारे बच्चे। मैंने तो बस ऐसे थोड़ा इशारा किया कि छोटे बच्चे हैं भैया, सभी ने धन्यवाद किया, भैया बहुत अच्छा रहा, हमारे बच्चे से बिल्कुल घर पहुंच गए।
The goons, over 50 of them, came out of the bushes and even tried to stop the bus.
यहाँ पे छोटे हुए बच्चे बैठे थे जहाँ शीशा टूटा हुआ है, यहाँ पर उनके कांच बच्चों के कुछ आके लगे हुए हैं। सारे बच्चे रो रहे थे तो हमने उनको समझाया, चुप कराया और जिनके चोट आई थी उनको थोड़ा फर्स्ट एड दिया गाड़ी से।
The day of the release saw massive police presence in Gurgaon, cops in gear, pickets, mobile vehicles, all meant a peaceful release for the movie. The question, however, the authorities need to answer now is, why wasn't this done before? And why did it take an inhuman attack on small kids for the authorities to finally wake up? With Snigdha Basu and camera person Umesh, I'm Sonal Mehrotra Kapoor, NDTV.
Well, much criticism of the way the ruling establishment in particular has been handling this entire issue of the Karni Sena, and there has been largely silence, at least critical silence from the top leadership of the BJP, except now, of course, VK Singh speaking out. Let me now go across to Anil Vij, Senior Haryana Minister, who joins us. Anil Vij जी, सबसे पहले बड़ी बात तो ये है कि कल जो गुड़गांव में हुआ, it was an absolute shocker for people, जिस तरह से बच्चों को स्कूल बस में अटैक किया गया. There is a lot of anger, Mr. Vij, against the Khattar government for failing on law and order. What is your first comment on that?
नहीं, देखिए, हमारी पुलिस ने तुरंत कार्रवाई की. पुलिस कमिश्नर खुद सारी फोर्स लेकर वहां पर पहुंचे और किसी भी प्रकार से इस प्रकार की घटनाओं, ये ठीक घटना ही नहीं है. और अगर किसी ने अपना विरोध करना है तो प्रजातंत्र में शांतिपूर्ण तरीके बहुत सारे हैं, लेकिन इस प्रकार से बच्चों पर हमला करना या स्कूल के बच्चों को डराना धमकाना, ये ठीक बात नहीं है और इसको हमारी सरकार किसी भी हालत में बर्दाश्त नहीं करेगी.
लेकिन क्या लोगों को इसके लिए अरेस्ट किया गया है? क्या आपको मालूम है कि ये किसने किया बस पे हमला?
हाँ जी, कुछ लोगों को उसी वक्त राउंड अप कर लिया गया था और अब FIR भी दर्ज हो गई है और बाकी लोगों को भी पकड़ा जाएगा. वो कौन लोग थे, उनकी आइडेंटिटी उसके बाद पता लगेगी.
अनिल विज जी, प्रॉब्लम ये है कि जो करनी सेना है, इट हैज गॉट अ कंप्लीट फ्री हैंड. वो जो मर्जी करना चाहे वो कर रहे हैं, चाहे वो बसें जला रहे हैं, हाईवेज को ब्लॉक कर रहे हैं. सवाल ये है कि क्या आप लोग करनी सेना के नेताओं को, उनको अरेस्ट क्यों नहीं कर रहे?
नहीं, देखिए, अब जिसके खिलाफ कोई केस है या जिस प्रकार से बनेगा उसको किया जाएगा. करनी सेना का अध्यक्ष तो शायद राजस्थान से है, वहां की पुलिस कोई कार्रवाई करेगी जो करेगी. हमारे सामने तो जो मामला आया उसमें हमने कार्रवाई कर दी है.
और आपके जो मुख्यमंत्री हैं, हरियाणा के मुख्यमंत्री हैं, वो क्यों चुप हैं? उनसे तो कुछ सुनाई, मतलब वसुंधरा राजे भी चुप हैं, मनोहर लाल खट्टर भी चुप हैं, कुछ कह ही नहीं रहे हैं इस पे.
देखिए, सरकार की तरफ से मैं भी एक मंत्री हूं, अगर मैं बोलता हूं तो मैं सरकार की तरफ से ही बोल रहा हूं.
विज जी, प्रॉब्लम ये है कि जो करनी सेना है, जो मेरा पहले भी सवाल था, उनको किसी चीज का डर नहीं है. उनको कोई डर नहीं है, वो अपनी मर्जी से कर रहे हैं. वैंडलिज्म, वायलेंस हो रही है, उनको सरकार का कोई डर नहीं है. क्योंकि आप लोग क्या उनकी मदद कर रहे हैं?
बिल्कुल, पूरी तरह से पुलिस गश्त कर रही है. बहुत सारे एरियाज में 144 लगा दी गई है, ड्यूटी मजिस्ट्रेट अपॉइंट किए गए हैं. पूरी कोशिश कर रहे हैं हम.
लेकिन आपको नहीं लगता कि कल जो गुड़गांव में हुआ, जिस तरह से खासकर बच्चों पे अटैक हुआ, बस पे अटैक हुआ, क्या ये फेलियर ऑफ लॉ एंड ऑर्डर नहीं है हरियाणा में?
नहीं, बिल्कुल देखिए, और फिर हमारी पुलिस तुरंत मौके पर पहुंच गई थी. जैसा मैंने आपको बताया, मेरी पुलिस कमिश्नर से बात भी हुई, वो मौके पर थे और उन्होंने बताया कि उन्होंने राउंड अप भी किए हैं और कुछ लोग भाग गए हैं और उनको भी ट्रेस करने की कोशिश की जा रही है.
सबसे पहले तो ये घटना होनी नहीं चाहिए थी, लेकिन अगर सब कुछ ठीक है, पुलिस तुरंत आई, उन्होंने सब कुछ अच्छे से किया, देन व्हाई हैव हाफ सो मेनी स्कूल्स इन गुड़गांव बीन शट टुडे, मिस्टर विज? आज तो स्कूल भी नहीं खुल रहे हैं गुड़गांव में इतने सारे.
नहीं, अब ये उन्होंने एहतियातन बंद किए होंगे कि पूरी पुलिस की मौजूदगी के बावजूद भी कोई ऐसा तत्व कहीं पर कोई घटना ना कर दे, इसलिए उन्होंने एहतियातन बंद किए होंगे. हमारी तरफ से उनको बंद करने का कोई आदेश नहीं है.
लेकिन लॉ एंड ऑर्डर तो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के हाथ में होता है. स्कूल इसीलिए बंद हैं क्योंकि टीचर्स और पेरेंट्स इनसिक्योर हैं. उनको पुलिस के, दे हैव नो फेथ इन द पुलिस, मिस्टर विज. मतलब वो इनसिक्योर हैं, इसीलिए बच्चे स्कूल नहीं गए आज.
देखिए, जब इस प्रकार का वातावरण बना हुआ होता है, माहौल बिगड़ा हुआ होता है, तो पुलिस सभी तरफ से कोशिश करती है, लेकिन फिर भी कहीं ना कहीं उसके बावजूद भी कोई घटना होने की संभावना बनी रहती है.
आप एक सीनियर बीजेपी नेता हैं, आप सीनियर मंत्री हैं. अनिल विज, क्या आप कंडेम करते हैं करनी सेना ने जिस तरह से ये प्रोटेस्ट किया है, ये वायलेंस किया है, वैंडलिज्म किया है? क्या करनी सेना के चीफ को जेल में नहीं होना चाहिए?
देखिए, बिल्कुल हम उससे सहमत नहीं है। जैसा मैंने पहले कहा कि प्रजातंत्र में हर आदमी को अपनी बात कहने का हक होता है, प्रोटेस्ट करने का हक होता है, लेकिन वो शांतिपूर्ण तरीके से किया जाना चाहिए। शांतिपूर्ण तरीके भी बहुत सारे हैं अपनी बात को सरकार तक पहुंचाने के, सरकार को मनवाने के। किसी भी प्रकार से ये बच्चों के ऊपर हमला करना, स्कूलों को डराना, ये किसी भी प्रकार से ठीक बात नहीं है। इसकी हम कड़ी निंदा करते हैं।
कड़ी निंदा तो ठीक है, लेकिन अनिल विज जी, प्रॉब्लम ये है कि जो मनोहर लाल खट्टर की सरकार है हरियाणा में, ये पहली बार नहीं हुआ है कि लॉ एंड ऑर्डर पे क्रिटिसिज्म हुआ है। पहले भी हो चुका है, उससे पहले भी हो चुका है। मतलब ये बार बार कहा जा रहा है दैट द खट्टर गवर्नमेंट इज कंप्लीटली फेल्ड ऑन लॉ एंड ऑर्डर।
नहीं, देखिए, खट्टर साहब ने पूरे उससे चीजों को हैंडल भी किया है। सिचुएशन किस लेवल की है उसको देखना पड़ता है, और मुख्यमंत्री जी ने इस बार भी सारे प्रशासन को खुद आदेश दिए हैं कि पूरी प्रकार से सख्ती रखी जाए।
ये फिल्म है पद्मावत, ये विल इट बी अलाउड टू रन पीसफुली इन हरियाणा?
नहीं, अब ये तो थिएटर वाले जाने, उन्होंने चलाना चाहते हैं नहीं चलाना चाहते हैं, लेकिन हमारी सरकार ने उनको पूरी प्रोटेक्शन का एश्योरेंस दिया।
Anil Vij, senior Haryana minister there, defending the Manohar Lal Khattar government's handling of the law and order situation in Haryana. Well, let's go straight across to our panelists now. We have Mr. Prakash Singh, the former DG of the BSF. He's been the former DGP of UP and Assam, and of course is someone who knows policing better than anyone else. Author Anna Vetikard is back with us tonight. Rakesh Sinha of the RSS. Filmmaker Sudhir Mishra joins us this evening. But I'd like to begin this evening's program with Neeta Wali, the principal of the GD Goenka school, which was the school whose bus was attacked with the children inside. Ma'am, first of all, obviously you and the parents of these kids, and I think other parents, would have been very shaken by what happened yesterday. Are parents and kids a little calmer today, even though the school was closed? I'm sure you had a chance to speak to them.
See, the students yesterday and the teachers, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead. The students and teachers, for them, it was a traumatic experience, most certainly, because I'm sure they were caught unawares. But I would say that our team was adequately equipped. They're trained to deal with such exigencies. Fortunately, our teachers and as well as our establishment staff were able to deal with the whole situation very effectively, and I'm really glad all our children are safe and secure, and so are our teachers. However, since there were a lot of road blockages yesterday, a lot of school buses had to be rerouted. A lot of our children reached home late, and today we chose to remain closed so that these children and these teachers could recover.
You know, as a citizen, as a teacher, and maybe as a parent, what would you say that this incident really tells you about the state of law and order in Haryana in particular right now? It's not the first time Haryana has seen unrest, but ma'am, doesn't it just cross a line when children become the targets of this kind of violence?
See, violence in any form should be condemned, particularly if very young people are targeted, because I feel that young children are very impressionable, they're very vulnerable, and sometimes the emotional scarring that occurs because of such incidents can take a long time to heal. So violence as such in any form should be condemned, and of course young children should be kept away from all this.
Anna Vetikard, what did you think of Senior Haryana Minister Anil Vij's comments that came on just before this, where he was essentially saying, well, the police did a good job, they got there well in time, they've made a series of arrests, and refusing to accept that the state government really has any blame, to share on this. What did you think? Because you were here the other day as well, and you live in Haryana. Tell us.
Nidhi, I'm not surprised at what he said, but it needs to be stated clearly that what has happened just now, the violence that we are seeing all over, is very much the ruling party, the BJP in Haryana and at the center, is responsible for this violence because they have played along, they have pandered to the Karni Sena, and their own members have issued threats of violence against the makers of these films. So Mr. Vij is walking the talk very differently. He's saying one thing on your channel, and then they're doing something else. Their party is doing something else. In fact, Mr. Vij was on your Hindi channel a few days ago, and he was saying things like, why should people make films that are based on history that could potentially hurt people's sentiments? At this rate, we are going to have politicians deciding what the content of our films is, and then supporting, and we're seeing them openly supporting threats of violence and actual violence. Why is not Surajpal Amood, who was the chief media coordinator of the BJP, who offered a bounty on Deepika Padukone's head, why isn't he in jail? What about the Telangana legislator from BJP who said that theatres will be burnt down if this film is shown? Why isn't he in jail? Before we ask why the Karni Sena members who are indulging in and threatening violence are in jail, why don't we ask why are these BJP members who have themselves threatened violence not being put in jail? The first threat of violence that came out, if somebody had been arrested, things would not have come to such a pass. Now the fact is that these people know they have a free rein. Things have gone out of hand. Things have probably gone out of even the Karni Sena's hands. Once you build up a Frankenstein's monster, you cannot control it. And the BJP, let us please squarely blame the ruling party at the center and in the states. The BJP is responsible for what we are seeing.
I'm going to ask Professor Sinha about that in just a moment. But before I do that, I want to ask Mr. Prakash Singh here, just from a law and order point of view, is this something that you believe, sir, could have been handled differently?
I'm sure it could have been handled differently, and I find it very distressing that, you see, in a country we have a censor board to decide what film is to be screened, which one is not to be screened. If you are not satisfied with it, you go to the court. The court gives a verdict. Now, so there is a censor board, there is a Supreme Court of India. Now, both have given certain views, certain opinions, and they have said, the Supreme Court has said that no, the film should be allowed to be screened. Now, if the law of the land is to prevail, the state governments must, it was their duty to ensure, on the one hand, that the film is screened, and those who are making provocative statements, they are booked and proceeded against. But the states seem to be mollycoddling the people who have been making all kinds of provocative statements that this man...
You clearly believe by now they should have been arrested. The Karni Sena leader, for example.
Yes, whosoever. I do not know who has made... Now, Karni Sena is a very splintered organization. I do not know which group is making a statement.
Whoever has made it. They've made public statements.
Provocative statement that somebody's nose should be chopped off, somebody's ear should be chopped off, somebody's head should be chopped off. And one man gave a statement that the armed forces personnel should not take their dinner for one day. I mean, this amounts to incitement to disaffection. Where is the law of the land? Why is the law of the land not being enforced? Why are these people not being booked under appropriate sections of law?
So you do see this as a breakdown of law and order in Haryana? Well, once again, I mean,
it is.
You know Haryana well.
I mean, not so much a breakdown of law and order on the part of police. Actually, the politicians have abdicated the function of governance. And when the politicians decide to take a particular line of action, the police has no option but to...
You're right, sir, because I mean, the guy on the ground is going to listen to whatever instructions he gets from the higher up.
Whatever instructions they get from the top, from the seat of government, it is those instructions that they will carry out. It is not so much the failure of police as failure of governance at the state level.
That's very strong words. I want to take that to Mr. Rakesh Sinha. Rakesh ji, let's just take a look at what Mr. Prakash Singh is saying on one hand. Now, he's not someone who's politically inclined. He's saying it's a clear failure of governance. You have these people who are being let loose. The state governments have failed to do their job. And Anna Vetikard, who's talking about the links with the ruling party that the Karni Sena has, which is true. I mean, Mr. Kalvi, who heads the Karni Sena, has attended Yogi Adityanath's swearing in. The Sangh Parivar has praised him. Therefore, does the ruling party, do the state governments that are ruled by the BJP, should they not take direct responsibility?
I am not habitual to make a personal comment, but listening Anna twice in your debate, I consider her a pro-Congress, just like a quasi-spokesperson of the Congress party. She is speaking just like against the BJP, RSS instead of dealing the real issue. You know, the once the stone thrown on the buses
is not a Congress member.
Carrying
Just
children.
let me state
This is
that.
a more. This is, no, you have. No, you don't interrupt others. Why don't Nidhi you interrupt me? Let me
Because you
complete
made a
whatever I
personal
want to
comment
say.
about her, and I will interrupt.
You can contest me, you can reject my point of view, but listen me. I'm not in your studio. Kindly listen me. Just see the attack on buses carrying children. This is a barbaric act. This is a barbaric act. This should be condemned, and I think this is the highest stage of violence. Nobody can justify this, and the movement lost its moral ground. Second most important thing that after censor board passed the film and Supreme Court has given the verdict, there is no reason that movement should continue. If they have any objection, they should they can protest in peacefully, the non-violent manner. Using violence, resorting violence is just you are challenging the Supreme Court, is challenging the constitutionalism. Liberal democracy can't function like that. All micro identities are part of the larger identity, and any micro identity has to see its face in the mirror of the larger identity. That is the Indian identity. That's why I see this movement has also taken the political shape. They are just extended their protest from Padmavati to the political movement. Therefore, RSS has made a categorical statement that all kind of violence should be condemned. All those who are resorting violence, they should be punished. Second thing, if anyone has objection, they should lodge their objection in a peaceful, democratic manner instead of resorting to the violence. In democracy, you have right to protest, but that doesn't mean that you will take law and order hands. You will create anarchy in the society. We have seen in the past many identity groups have taken this resort, and it should be discouraged at any cost. No identity politics should lead to the anarchy, and it should be discouraged by all kinds of people.
I think it's
instead of giving a provocative remark,
that, Mr. Sinha.
We should do dialogue in such a way that there should be amicable solution.
Do you believe that the Rajasthan and Haryana governments have completely abdicated their responsibility in not having the Karni Sena chief and others who have made very out-and-out threatening statements and not thrown them in jail? Have they abdicated responsibility, or are they colluding with the Karni Sena for political reasons?
You know, the state has the moral and legal responsibility to implement the law and order, and this is the duty of the state. Whoever is a ruler of the state, whichever the party in the power, there should be no dispute on that, because a liberal democracy functions only on the basis of prevalence of the law and order. If law and order both are challenged, then no society can have a civil form. Second most important thing is that I have one objection, that Bhansali has sold his film before getting released. He perpetuated the things, mystified the film. I think this film is linked with a historical character. This could have been resolved much earlier if Bhansali could have taken action in a proper manner. He had taken confidence to the stakeholders. Instead of doing that, he has made a selective steps. That is the reason that it bombarded. I think reactionary elements are now in the movement.
Who is the stakeholder in this? Is the Karni Sena a stakeholder? Because last I checked, goons, vandals and thugs do not qualify as stakeholders for anything. What are they the stakeholders of?
No, you know, Nidhi, we live in the real world. If some reactionary elements get the largest support, then you can't expect the state to go and fire every individual. A state has to act sensibly, and Prakash Singh ji is there. He rightly said that a state has to show his willpower to control and curb this. But at the same time, when the Padmavati is a historical character, and there are many narratives that you are going to make a film, you should have been more sensible. You are selling your film before getting released. You are also marketing before that. Now he is realizing that it is too much. Enough is enough.
And there is also a dispute over whether she is a historical figure.
You cannot give clean sheet to Bhansali. You can't give clean sheet to Bhansali.
No, but you can't. I mean, the very fact that you are actually putting a question mark on his conduct in this, and I actually put a question mark on his conduct for another reason.
I said, I'm telling
how does the responsibility lie on him? He's a filmmaker. You don't even know whether Padmavati existed.
Anti-social elements.
You know, Sudhir Mishra, let me just bring you in on
Who
that.
says? You cannot
talk to historians. Historians are divided on it. Historians are, there's no conclusive proof about anything, Mr.
Oral
Sinha.
history has importance in society.
And
Nidhi,
for
you are
God's
rejecting
sake,
oral
you know,
history.
Netflix can make a whole series on Queen Elizabeth, who is still alive, and make an entire series called The Crown, which goes into intimate details about her life, even her relationship with her husband. Do you see Buckingham Palace setting theatres on fire? I mean, that's what a mature democracy does. That's how it reacts. Sudhir Mishra, the problem here with the way I think, honestly, that Sanjay Leela Bhansali has, is that he seems to have also pandered to the Karni Sena at the end of it. I mean, what are the lessons you think that Bollywood needs to take when it walks away from this and when this story dies down? The fact is, apart from people like you and a handful of others, Sudhir Mishra, none of your big Bollywood stars have said anything about this film. I mean, they're all scared. Nobody's taken a stand. Sanjay Leela Bhansali invites the Karni Sena to come and watch the movie. I mean, you invite the mob into your home and say, come and watch the film. So what are the lessons you think that your fraternity needs to take away from this?
I don't know. I mean, today the film is released. It looks like there's curfew in the country. It's bizarre. And you know, all this over a film. I wonder which constituency, because I believe every act today in the political sphere is pandering to some constituency. So which constituency are you pandering to when you attack children? And who supports an attack on children? You know, so they must be pandering to somebody. And you know, I mean, you can't, I mean, I could go on and on about how brave I am. But you see, I mean, the bigger stars or whatever are very vulnerable at the moment. If the law and order and the state has abdicated its part and handed it over to this mob, then what does the star do? I mean, if he says something, it just spirals out of control. What does Sanjay do? He's made a film. He didn't ask for anybody's permission. Suddenly some things sort of burst open and there was chaos. Now he's trying his best to handle it. I may like the film today, I may not like it. I haven't seen it, I may not like the film. But, you know, it's elementary, my dear Watson. We have discussed this so many times. So what does the poor guy do? He says, okay, I mean, come and see the film. I haven't upset anybody. I am not against any community. You know, I mean, of course, you know, I mean, there's 175 crores riding. He's a popular filmmaker. Some of us have smaller risks. He has big money riding on it. There is the responsibility of a whole industry, and it's frightening for the industry, because I don't know what, tomorrow can I make a film on Begum Hazrat Mahal? Because somebody will be upset, you know. I mean, then you can't do anything besides, you know, rich boy meets poor guy gets upset, goes to Australia, comes back, some such thing, you know. I mean, otherwise you can't make a film. Can I make a film about my time? Can I make a film about some real incident that has occurred in a village, in a state? People say, oh, you're depicting my state this way. There's no, I mean,
you
the
can't
reality
make any film
is
in
mine.
India. That's
it's
what
mine
I said.
to interpret. It's just an
gave
idea.
the example.
Everything is just a viewpoint.
I gave the example of The Crown. I gave the example of The Crown on Netflix for a reason.
I'm the only anti-Congress filmmaker around here. Mr. Rakesh Sena should know it, you know.
Well, I want to ask Rakesh Sinha though, you know, on these political links between the Karni Sena and the BJP. So
I'm the only one who made a film about the emergency, you know.
No, clearly you're criticizing what is going on, but you're not a Congress guy. So just to clarify that, neither is anyone else who criticizes the government. But Professor Sinha, what about these links between Kalvi and the BJP? I mean, why does the Rajasthan Home Minister? Why does the Rajasthan Home Minister say today, and this is a shocking statement.
This is the limit, what is happening.
No. The Rajasthan Home Minister says today, Mr. Sinha, that we are on the same page as the Karni Sena. And I mean, Digvijaya Singh also made an appalling statement that if a film hurts sentiments, then it shouldn't be made. What is going on here?
I am neither the spokesperson of the Rajasthan government nor the Home Minister of Rajasthan.
You're all part of one big happy family.
I speak my own, and I clarify the. Now I am clarifying the RSS position is clear that institution must be respected. Both the Censor Board and Supreme Court have given their verdict, and their verdict is for release of the film. and people should be allowed to watch the film. Those who want to watch the film, they should be allowed, and the state should protect them. On the other hand, those who have objections, first they watch the film, lodge their protest in a democratic manner, act as a democrat, not act as an anarchist. Nobody has right to act as an anarchist in a social democracy. Abusing institution would be dangerous and detrimental for the national unity and integrity. That is our clear position, categorical position. And those who are in quest of the conspiracy theory, I can't help them. Everybody, some people are habitual to oppose the RSS, to blame the RSS, to blame the BJP. They are free to do that. They have been doing for the last many years, many decades. That is not going to harm us.
But Rajasthan,
you know, we are a
Minister,
democratic society of the millions of
when
millions.
Gulab Chand Kataria says that the state government is on the same page as the Karni Sena, invites the Karni Sena to be a co-petitioner with it in the Supreme Court. Mr. Sinha, what does that tell us? I mean, essentially the Rajasthan government, which is the BJP government, is hand in glove with the mob that is on the rampage.
Nidhi, idealistic discussion and pragmatic discussion, there is a difference. You know, on the secondary information, manipulated information, things have been linked with the identity politics. So larger number of people came. Those who have not watched the film, if they would watch the film, they may appreciate the film. So when this becomes the identity politics and Karni Sena expanded its base, then government has to act sensibly. You can't, you know, in Mumbai,
and
when
make it a
thousands of people came on
co-petitioner,
the street,
the government has to act sensibly by making it a co-petitioner. Actually, Yogi Adityanath has handled this better than Vasundhara Raje and ML Khattar any day, ironically, of all the people. Mr. Prakash Singh wants to come in on this.
See, you have to look at whatever has happened in Haryana and Rajasthan. We have to look at it in the larger perspective. Larger perspective in the sense that, see, 2016 we had reservation agitation in Haryana. Again, there was a complete breakdown of law and order over the issue of reservation. Prior to that, we had Gujar agitation. They also disrupted public life. Delhi Mumbai highway was blocked. Delhi Jaipur traffic was blocked. Now, this kind of thing, when particular communities taking up particular issues and holding the state to ransom, this thing has gone on too far, and I think it's high time that the central and the state governments make up their mind. Are they going to govern? Are they going to maintain law and order? Or are they for petty considerations of maybe political consideration or whatever it is, caste consideration or political consideration, whatever it is, are they going to succumb to particular identity groups? I mean, this is the bigger question, and it's going to haunt different states. I mean, in Gujarat also we have seen a similar phenomenon. In Andhra Pradesh we have also seen that kind of phenomenon. Now, this thing can upset the entire apple cart of law and order and can totally disrupt governance in the country. Governments must make up their mind. The political class has to decide, well, we have tolerated enough of this nonsense and we are not going to have any more of it.
Do you believe though that a line was crossed yesterday?
Beg your pardon?
That a line was crossed yesterday, that this has in a sense shaken people in a way, you know, when you see children crying and you know, shielding themselves.
As
that
Rakesh Sinha said, it was absolutely unjustified. Absolutely unjustified. But far more unjustified things happened during the reservation agitation in 2016. That was far more gruesome, far more widespread. Point is, such agitations have to be put down with a firm hand. And during the Haryana agitation, I repeatedly told the government that you arrest just these two people and the situation would diffuse considerably. To this day, neither of them have been touched. Now, the point is, when you are not prepared to take the bull by the horns, when you allow people to make rabid, provocative statements, when you allow them to fan public anger, things will continue to sort of go out of hand.
I think that's very well said by you and very strong words by you. Anna, I just want to bring that back to you, you know, on this issue of political patronage again. I mean, you know, you have a by-election coming up in Rajasthan next week. I suspect we wouldn't have seen half this violence if that by-election wasn't there. And what is sad is that while this Mr. Kalvi of this Karni Sena clearly has BJP links, I mean, you know, the Congress's condemnation also of this, and the responsibility, look, doesn't lie at their door. They're in the opposition, they're not ruling. But it just shows you the state of politics. I mean, Rahul Gandhi tweeted last night a condemnation without naming the Karni Sena. There's, you know, so there is this kind of tiptoeing around the real issue. And that's sad.
course, the Congress's reaction makes it very clear the fact that we already knew, which is that this is really not about a film, Nidhi. This is really about the political fray. Apart from the by-election, we have assembly elections coming up in Rajasthan. We also have the general election coming next year. And this is very clearly an effort, A, by the BJP to pander to the Rajput community, and B, by the Congress to play safe in the matter of the Rajput community. While I will ignore the personal remark made by Mr. Sinha, because it is the habit of fundamentalists like him to make personal remarks, I must say that that very worrisome comment he made about all stakeholders being brought in and taken into confidence and so on and so forth by Bhansali, actually one of the most dangerous things.
I am really confused whether you belong to the Congress or you are an independent author. You are not speaking like an independent author.
Mr. Sinha, please let her finish.
You are also one of the people who are habitual.
Please, no personal attacks. Please, no personal attacks here. Let's stick to the issues.
I am not a person. She is attacking the entire ideology without any reason.
She has a right to oppose an ideology, but let's not get personal.
I am asking. She is acting just like a Congress spokesperson.
As I said, Nidhi, so as I was saying, Nidhi, one of the most dangerous things Bhansali has done in the past year is that he actually tried to bring the Karni Sena to the table for a discussion. Let's be very clear.
Absolutely.
If someone did a seminar and said, I have a problem with Padmaavat, that's perfectly okay. Please call them and talk to them. They wrote on the social media, wrote an article, please call them and talk to them. But the Karni Sena, when we call them vandals and goons, in fact, it's a very
instead of masquerading as an independent author.
The Karni Sena, without any doubt, is a terrorist organization, and they should have been banned several weeks back. And much as I respect Mr. Mishra, I do respect Mr. Mishra because he's one of the few members of the Hindi film industry who does speak up on issues. The fact is that Sanjay Leela Bhansali and the Hindi film industry at large for decades now has played a role in the way fundamentalists have attacked them. And please let us not say, Mr. Mishra, that they are helpless. What do they do when the state abdicates their responsibility? Obviously, the primary responsibility is that of the state. But we have seen in the actions and words of other artists from other industries who have shown far more courage that the Hindi film industry, including this film, by the way, Nidhi, I've seen this film, and Padmaavat is a very regressive film. It is pandering to Rajputs. It is actually, it plays up a certain caricature and a stereotype of Muslims. It is a misogynistic film. It is glamorizing.
As are probably most Hindi films, misogynist and regressive. But I think the point is, I think the point what you made that, actors who are superstars from other film industries in this country, Sudhir Mishra, and that's a fact, they've had a far more courage to speak out on issues, and it's very sad that the Hindi film industry, some of its biggest stars, do not find that courage and have actually over the years pandered to those that have bullied them, whether it has been falling at Bal Thackeray's feet in the past or so many other groups at the end of the day. I just hope that now that the film has been released, that the next few days will be peaceful and that people can peacefully watch it and decide and make up their minds for themselves. Thank you to all of you for joining us. Let's see, Mr. VK Singh, whether any action is taken by the state even now, but I'm not really expecting that.